What's up, guys? It's Unlock Podcast. Unfortunately, Alan cannot show up today, so I asked Ryan to be my co-host. So he might be a new face. We'll see on it, but it's whatever. But we have Danny here. He just actually got back from boot camp, so this is a part 2. So we're gonna talk about his boot camp experience, all that fucking shit. So, like, when did you leave?
Oh yeah, I left on January 23rd. Of this year.
So what was it like going up there and shit though?
Going up to fucking
boot
MCRD. I don't know. I don't really remember much of the start of boot camp because it was all just like a blur. Mm-hmm. But all I remember is I waited in an airport for like 8 hours, and then once we got on the plane, it was just I slept because I knew that I wouldn't be sleeping at all during the first week. And then, yeah, it was just a ton of waiting. It was boring, but it went by fast. Fast as fuck.
Did you get your phone or anything at that
Yeah,
time?
I had my phone up until the moment you arrive at the base.
So then you just give it to your parents or whatever? Or
No.
who do you give it to?
What? I had my phone. Jeez, yeah, who did I give it to? Fuck. It was like, so I had it on the plane, obviously, and then I had it during the bus ride to the military base from the airport. And then once we got on base, it was like they brought us into a room that had like red foot lockers, and we put all our shit there, and you just left it there. I didn't see any of my shit after that.
Oh, so you just got back after though?
Yeah, it was all in like a box. Or did it? Yeah. It was like we wrapped it up, put our name on it, and then we put it in a box and didn't see it again.
So was like that first week like more mental than physical because
we didn't
have
shit
any.
physically.
It was just a bunch of change pretty much instantaneously.
Yeah, the only physical part of the first week, which is receiving week, which doesn't even count as a week, so that sucks. But
wait, what is it?
It doesn't count as like a real training week. So boot camp is technically.
So what did you do for your first week though? Like,
that was receiving week. It was literally you get there Monday night. You do all this, like, you put all your shit away, all your civilian shit, and then you get issued your clothing. So you get, like, your camis, your skivvies, which are, like, the PT clothing, like the shorts you wear and shit. You get those, you change into it, and then after that, you're done wearing, like, your civilian clothes and shit.
Really?
Yeah, so once you do that, that was, like, Monday night. And then from there, they walk you over to medical. And so, what is that, Tuesday? So all day Tuesday, you're sitting there at medical, just, fuck, I don't even remember.
Butt-ass naked?
Yeah, just like getting a checkup or some shit. No, in your camis.
Oh.
Butt-ass naked?
No. But yeah, no, you're getting like checked up and shit. Like I deadass don't remember it. Like it was all a blur of just being tired and getting yelled at.
Yeah, because you were getting yelled at that point already?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Was it like just like learning like all the schedules and stuff?
Not even. No, this is before you learn how to this is before you learn how to be a recruit. So this is literally just you not knowing what the fuck is going on and just following the person in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
But
did you meet people at that point or not?
Yeah, but you didn't really like talk to them because you kind of couldn't. It was literally just sitting there and being quiet. It was pretty shit. Yeah, it was pretty shit. But it went by fast.
So then what did you do after the medical shit?
After that, fucking, what did we do? It was like on Wednesday we did, I don't remember. Fuck, it was like more medical shit, I think, the next day. And then Wednesday night is the moment of truth. It's where they bring everybody into a room and they ask you to like verify all the shit that you told your recruiter. And if you lied about anything, then you get separated and kicked out.
What do you mean?
Separated?
Well, it's like they kick you out of the Marine Corps if you lie. So like some people will lie about having a kid. Some people will lie about drugs is a big one. So like people will do drugs before they leave and then they admit to it and then they get kicked out. So it's just like.
So it's like a lie detector?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wait,
did you see it happen?
To that thing and shit?
No, you don't get hooked up. You're literally in a room. So it was like this big ass classroom that had like a ton of seats for everyone to sit in. And then there was like a podium in the middle kind of with like TVs and shit. And so you're all sitting there like hundreds of people in that room because it's like the whole fucking company. Mm-hmm. And they tell you, they're like, if you have to change any of the shit that's on your sheet, that's on like your waivers or anything, so you're like your legal documents, then they tell you to stand up and like go form a line. But like, and then they say, they literally say, fucking, this
like
is
that
your
line's
last.
the trap?
Yeah, it's a trap. They say it's your last chance to save yourself if you lied about anything. But it's
Like it's
not-
already
yeah, it's
lied.
already
Damn.
fucking over. If you go up in that line, you're done.
How many people like stood up?
A lot. Well,
Really?
I don't know. They make you put your head down like
Oh.
that. I fell asleep during it. I remember. But then I remember I was woken up because I heard a kid like screaming. He was like, no, I want to go back. And I was like, fuck. I was like, shit.
Damn.
That
So
shit-
his whole like military.
He
career
probably
got
got
fucked.
separated. And then so what I remember from that night specifically is I was asleep, and then at the end, because everything's fast paced at boot camp, especially at the beginning. So once all that shit was over, like probably just a ton of drill instructors walked in. They're like, everyone fucking run. And then we had to go back to the receiving squad bay, which is where you're put like during receiving week to sleep. And then I just remember like some dude, I don't remember who the fuck it was, but someone woke me the fuck up. He's like, hey, come on, we gotta run. We'll never see those motherfuckers again. Like the people that that like said that they lied about something. They were like, we ain't seeing those bitches again. That's all I remember them saying to me, and then we ran. So that's how my moment of truth went.
Oh, so you had to run with him?
Yeah, it was like me and this dude. Like he woke me up. He's like, we ain't seeing them again.
But
And
he
I
was
like,
undercover or whatever?
What? No, it was like another recruit.
Wait, why'd
Like-
you have to run?
Because fucking the drill instructors, they're like, everyone get the fuck out of here now.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
saying?
Because like they're not just going to be like, all right, everybody get up and walk to the fucking barracks. They're like, everyone fucking
Oh,
run.
so then some homie like woke you up and shit.
Yeah, so yeah, because if I got caught sleeping, I probably could have gotten in trouble, but I'm sure everybody was sleeping. Like a lot of people were sleeping.
Yeah, I bet.
But
So that was your first like actual night, you'd say?
yeah, I do remember there was I think that's what we did Tuesday night, because Wednesday night was the moment of truth, which is what I just explained. Tuesday night we did a drug test, and all I remember was this fucking funny ass dude. He did not give a fuck because he told me he's like I did hella drugs before coming here. I'm not passing this bitch. So he took his drug test and then he just walked over and like he gave it to the person. He's like, I'm not passing this bitch, and then he got separated.
Oh, he just got instantly.
Yeah, there's people that show up to boot camp that instantly just want to go home. So they're like, I did drugs, regardless of whether they did it or not. That's the instant way to get kicked out.
Damn.
Yeah, wait, so it was the first like 2 days you're there just like that menacing and like that imposing?
The first week, yeah.
It's just fearful
Uh-huh.
because it's so
Well,
different.
yeah. And then so that was Wednesday. Thursday you go to dental and you're just doing more dental shit, waiting.
Like all the medical
Yeah.
shit, yeah.
And then Friday, I think Wednesday night, after that moment of truth, that's the first time you sleep. So you slept Wednesday night. And then Thursday you go to dental, you do all that shit. Friday is Black Friday. It's kind of like a holiday for boot camp. It's like your first big day at boot camp because that's when you meet your drill instructors. So they marched us, the receiving drill instructors. So there's drill instructors at receiving that they take care of you for that first week and then you never see them again.
Mm-hmm.
They marched us over with all of our shit to the actual squad bay, which is where we stayed for the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And once we got there, they told us to just find a rack. I found a rack, and then we just stood in front of it until they told us to sit down by the duty hut, which is like the drill instructor's office. If you've never seen like a squad bay, there's like, it's got like all the racks, and then there's an office, which is where the drill instructors go. And
Wait,
then,
does it look like how it does in movies and shit, like the racks and everything?
yeah, I'd imagine. I haven't really seen any military movies like that,
I
but
have no idea what that.
I'm
looks
pretty
like.
sure.
So it's just a bunch of beds and shit.
Yeah, from what I've
laid-
seen in
bunk
Full Metal
beds?
Jacket, like there were pillars in the middle, and then the rack.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's exactly how it was.
What about like drill instructors? Are they like the same in movies?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a
let's
new
get to
it's
that
a new
part.
Marine Corps. They're not
Yeah.
allowed to like hit you or anything, but we'll get
Aw.
to that. But so they sat us down by the office, and all I remember is, well, this is like one of the traditional parts. This happens to every person that's ever gone to boot camp. Everyone's sitting there. The door opens. Your senior drill instructor comes out of the duty hut, and out behind him are the rest of your drill instructors, which are the green belts.
Mhm.
So in case you don't know, there's your senior drill instructor. He's the senior, obviously. He's in charge.
Uh-huh.
He's managing the recruits and the drill instructors. And then you'll have at least 3 other drill instructors, which wear the green belts. Those are the actual drill instructors because those are the ones that fuck you up.
Mhm.
Your
The
seniors,
green ones are the ones that.
yeah,
fuck
the
you?
green belts. The senior, he wears a black belt, and he's just kind of managing everything. He's supposed to be like the nice drill instructor. He's like the good cop.
Taekwondo.
Yeah. No, fuck. Well, I mean, yeah, probably. If he's a senior drill instructor, he probably has his black belt, but that's besides the point. So I remember he comes out, And then the drill instructors say the drill instructor creed, which is like, I will not give up on these recruits until they give up on themselves. It's some bullshit like that. And then from there, I don't fucking remember. It's just we got in front of our rack with all our gear, and from there, that's when it started with the they give us a command and we do it. They count us down. Have you ever heard like how a drill instructor counts down?
Do it. Is it
I got you.
5,
It's like
4, 2, 1?
no, so they'll be like, so let's say we had to grab our hanger. So that we had a hanger on our rack, which we put our clothes on, like the clothes that we were going to be wearing the next day. So if they wanted to tell us to get our hanger out, they'd say, hanger online, deep move. And then all of us would have to scream, kilo, and then we'd do it. But then they would count us down. So they'd be like 20, 29, 8, 7, 6, 5, 30.
Voice.
All right, so it'd be like, fucking, hanger online, deep move. 20, 19, 18, 17, 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And then, so once they say 0, you go, die! And you have to stop moving. If you move, they'll fuck you up. We move after 0, right? And they'll fucking get in your face. They'll fuck you up. It's shit like that. Like, there's a ton of, like, code phrases in boot camp and shit that
they had to learn on the fly.
Yeah. So, well, not on the fly. Like, I'm sure they taught us, but I don't remember them teaching us because, like, literally you say it, like, probably 1,000 times a day.
Did you ever, like, mess up?
What? Yeah.
Yeah, I only get to that.
So, like, sometimes...
Well, like, let's do that.
There would be times where, like, you're so used to the drill instructor, when he's counting you down, he's about to say 0. You're so used to it that you say 0. So, like, there were times where the drill instructor's counting down, and then you end up screaming 0, and then, like, the fuck you just say? So that's when...
Oh, like, just like a habit.
Just doing some stupid shit like that, like getting in the habit. But, yeah, that's really it for receiving week. Like,
yeah,
it was literally just a blur. Like, I dead ass... And I'm sure it's that way for, like, a lot of people that went through boot camp. Like, they just don't fucking remember it, like, at all.
Yeah, because it's probably, like, the easiest week, would you say, right?
No, it's probably one of the worst. It's like, the most mind-numbing, you know?
Yeah.
You're not doing shit. Like, at least in all the other, like, in the actual training weeks, at least you're doing shit that, like, you're kept busy. Like, this week, you're just sitting there thinking, like, damn, I'm really here. Like,
so that one's just a mental fuck?
Yeah,
right?
that's probably mentally the hardest week.
So then, what's the pickup going like, kind of? Like, when does it start picking up to, like, more physical and, like... Or just tell me about the second week, how that was.
Well, the second week...
The actual first week.
The second week was just a whole lot of them teaching us how to do shit their way, obviously, not, like, the proper military way. Like, they taught us in the chow hall to sit, like, fist distance from the table, your feet at wide 45, fucking knife hands, which is your fucking hand or fingers together like this, thumb tight to the like just do that. This is a knife hand. I don't know why the fuck we do it, but we do it. They say both knife hands on your thighs. This is how you sit at chow.
Oh, I gotta sit.
Sit up straight too. Don't look around. Your head has to be like this. When you're eating, you can have one hand with like your fork like this. You can't look down at your food. You'll get fucked up. It was so stupid. It's like
That
was
So that was your first time eating, like, the proper way?
Yeah, and so they're just teaching you a ton of shit like that the whole first actual week. So second week you're there.
So you're actually, for the receiving week, were you getting actual food, or was it still MREs?
No, not MREs. You don't get MREs till you go up north. It was box chow. So box chow is like, they'll pull out a cooler that just has a ton of like shitty sandwiches wrapped in plastic. You grab that, they'll have like Cheez-Its, Nutri-Grain bars.
Oh, that's not
It
bad.
was actually decent.
Yeah, well,
That's
it wasn't bad.
But
It wasn't filling at
Yeah.
all, but it wasn't bad. Like, you were getting actual like snack food, but like name brand shit. And then there were grandma's cookies. Do you know what grandma's cookies are?
Yeah.
Those are good.
Fire as fuck. They carried. That's what got me through receiving week.
Really?
Just kidding.
Wait, well, okay, so you're on the Eden part and shit too, right?
Oh yeah, they teach us shit like that. That was the whole first week, or second week.
So just
we'll include receiving
all the
week.
manners and shit.
Yeah, all
pretty
that
much.
shit. How to like that's when they start teaching you how to march. So, like fucking, I don't even like cover an alignment, like to stay behind the person in front of you and to stay aligned to the person to the right of you. Shit like that. It was literally just the basics of how to be a recruit. And then that Saturday is that's called the tornado.
The tornado.
Wait, before you tell us about it, what's the dumbest manner they taught you? Like, the thing you think is like,
The
why
food one
fuck-
just sounds
Why the
stupid.
fuck are we doing this?
Well, I mean, most everything that they made us do was fucking retarded. I didn't want to do it, but at the end of the day, like, it all like
meshed up to like.
I don't want to say it paid off, but it did add up to something bigger. Because like everything that they make you do does end up like going towards something, which is something I like picked up as we went through boot camp. I was like, holy shit, like we've been doing this since we got here. And it was like, damn, it was just crazy. So like they don't just make you do all that shit just to be retarded. They actually have good reasons for it. It is retarded still, don't get me wrong, but it all adds up. And then so the tornado, that was the Saturday after you. So it's like you meet your drill instructors on Black Friday. That next week, that Saturday is when you get the tornado. So basically, it's like you're standing online, your shit's already packed out, like your rack's made, all your shit's good to go. You're getting ready to start your training, your actual training, so like all the physical shit. And then, so you're just standing there, and then, for me, this is how it went for me. I like look over to my right, the squad bay door. It was a double door. They just rip open, and like 30, maybe not 30, like 20. Fucking screaming bald fucking men, all with their fucking green belts, of course, and their fucking frisbee hats. Fucking come in there, they're just screaming. I don't even know what the fuck they're screaming. They're just like opening their mouth, just making some type of loud ass noise coming out of their fucking fat ass mouths.
I'm just trying to imagine.
Yeah, just literally like grunting and screaming. And all they do is they just run full speed around the squad bay, fucking your shit up.
Tornado!
The
like
tornado, yes.
Bro, my fucking uncle taught my, he was like 5 at the time, my little cousin, because he was trolling my aunt or whatever. He said, I'm going to teach you how to tornado. He just grabs all of his clothes from his drawer and just throws them everywhere. And then my little cousin just starts doing that shit. And then my aunt walks in the room and is just pissed. So
that's literally what fucking happened. We had our war bags, which have like our laundry, shit like that. Fucking war bags were flying across the squad bay, getting ripped open. Shit was everywhere. I'm pretty sure they had us unlock our foot lockers too, so those bitches got fucked up too. Literally everything that we had ended up
so you
anywhere.
lost a lot of shit?
Yeah, people lost a ton of shit.
Was there anything important though?
Not really.
It
was all shit that
given
like
to
you
you.
could get replaced, and it's like it was like people would like at the end of the day, nothing left the squad base. So like everyone's shit was still there. It's just some people picked up more than one item, and then it's like, shit, who got an extra one of these?
Throughout the whole booth.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Like the point of the tornado is to like see like if you can work together to like fix your shit. But like racks were being dismantled, like they were being fucking destroyed, flipped over.
This.
Wait, racks are like beds, right?
The beds. Sorry, the beds. So the bunk beds, racks.
Yeah.
Fucking, they were being everywhere. Like they like I dead ass. They were being flipped over and like broken.
Oh,
like, we had to rebuild them. Like
yeah,
which like they come in pieces, so it's not like they didn't actually break them. They just took them apart. And it's like, what the fuck. Other than that, the ammo
they know
cans,
all the little fucking.
They know how to do their shit.
You just like touch one thing and the entire thing just.
They know how to do their shit. Fucking. And then what I do remember specifically, ammo cans, they're filled with dirt. So they fucking ripped open the ammo cans and just threw them bitches around. Like when I say it was a tornado, it was a fucking tornado. They were running in circles, just fucking our shit up. The dirt from like the dirt and the dust from the ammo can was like in the air. You couldn't see shit. It was loud. You couldn't hear shit. And I'm pretty sure one of our drill instructors, our Jay, that's like what his position is. His job is to like teach everything. And he was probably just standing in the middle of all of it, telling us to run to the back of the house, run to the front of the house. So we're sprinting across the squad bay while drill instructors are getting in our face, screaming at us, fucking our shit up. It was like, when it was happening, I specifically remember I was fucking dying. Like I was laughing my ass off.
Oh, really? But
I was just
you're in the dust.
Nobody saw it shit. I'm sure the drill instructors are the same way. They're probably just like, I was just running around fucking their shit up. And then we're like, we were just running around getting our shit fucked up. It was probably shit like that. Like I'm sure the drill instructors have no idea what they did either. They were just hitting it, you know.
They're like, if they saw something in their path, it was getting fucked.
Yeah,
up.
literally, fucking. It was like Angry Birds or some shit. Like they were the Angry Birds.
Did they like trample anybody?
I don't think so. People? No, they're like very careful with not touching recruits.
Yeah, let's get on to that later though.
Yeah, I got some stories of shit like that happening, but yeah, no, that was basically the tornado. It was confusing as fuck. It was funny as fuck though.
You didn't know it was coming either, right?
Man.
No, I kind of did.
Because you looked at the Matrix.
No, it's not on the Matrix. It's kind of one of those things that like if you ask, so like we asked the drill instructors, we were like, did you have fun during the tornado? And they were like, the what? And we're like, when you fucked all our shit up, and they're like, I don't remember that ever happening. So they don't like admit to it. So I guess technically it never happened. Or if it did happen, it wasn't our drill instructors.
Okay.
It wasn't.
So it's not supposed to be always.
It's probably supposed to happen. Like it's probably tradition, but like the drill instructors will never admit to it because.
Well, yeah, because you never know who did it because they're literally they all look the same at the time.
At the time, yeah. But fuck, that shit was crazy.
Men. So wait, how does the weeks go? Does it end on Saturdays or Sundays for?
The weekend's on Sunday, so a new week starts on Monday.
So what'd you do on Sundays? What are Sundays like on there? Because isn't that a chill day?
No, the mornings are chill. The fucking afternoon is not.
Oh, okay.
So, from what I remember at the start of boot camp, because like you have to remember, after the crucible, when you become a Marine, shit completely lays back. So like for the past 2 weeks, when I was for the last 2 weeks of boot camp, like shit was pretty chill. So like looking back, before we became Marines, my platoon, before we became Marines, like at the start of boot camp, Sundays was just like you wake up, you eat your chow or whatever. From there, you'll just do whatever the fuck you're told to do for like the next hour, maybe. Mm-hmm. Like maybe whether it's like practicing drill or going back to the house and cleaning or some shit. It's whatever the fuck you were told. After that, you get your religious square away time, which is 3 hours long. So you get from, I think it was like 8 to 11 every Sunday. And it's where you could go to church services because they had like all different types of religions and shit. Like, because there's like a ton of fucking like gods or some shit. Mm-hmm. So people could go worship whatever the fuck they wanted to worship. Shit like that. So they gave you 3 hours to do that. And then if not, you could just stay back at the squad bay and fix your shit, write your letters, whatever the fuck you wanted to do. And it was like the only chill time you got during boot camp.
What were you doing?
Well, I always went to the Catholic church for my grandma.
Uh-huh.
She might be watching, so it's for her,
of
course.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But that was only an hour long or some shit. So like I still had 2 hours every Sunday to just I wrote letters sometimes. Most of the time I was just like fixing my shit, like organizing my shit, all that.
Wait, what's the setup look like of like the whole entire boot camp? Like, are you like I don't understand. Like, is it just like you guys are on grass plains and there's just like cabins everywhere, or
what?
Like that's just what I imagine.
Like what, the squad bay or what?
No, just everything. Like, what the fuck? Like, is this the layout of boot camp? You know what I mean? Are you at the same places every day?
Like
I don't know.
Like the layout, like the entire
the
like
layout
area.
of the entire like
Like the
how the
training
base
grounds and
looks.
everything.
yeah, the whole base.
Okay.
Because is it different than like an actual Marine has? Like you have a completely different spot.
Yeah, so MCRD has like, so in the middle of MCRD, there's the parade deck, which is where the ceremonies like graduation are held, shit like that. It's where you do initial and final drill. So that's like the center line. On one side of the parade deck is like the civilian Marine side. That's where, that's where recruits don't fucking go. And it's got like restaurants, like it has a Domino's and shit.
Oh, so that's like what the fucking drill. I mean
that's where like the drill instructors could go.
What's that one guy? The recruiter or whatever.
Yeah.
The one like whatever Delgado was or whatever. That's where like he was talking about like where actual Marines go like to get their apartments or whatever.
Yeah, that's where like the actual Marine barracks are. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side of the parade deck is the recruit area. It's got all the company squad bays. It's got the receiving squad bays because like there's different squad bays like receiving. So that week you stay in a certain spot, and then there's the actual squad bays you go to when you're training. Mm-hmm. And then there's the chow hall there, and then behind the chow hall there's like the dirt pit, which is where all your obstacle courses are. There's a football field there for the CFT, which we can get into that later. If not, it's just a fucking fitness test. It's not that big of a deal. And then that's where the airport is behind the chow hall. So they have like a track, or like you run like when you're running the PFT or the or like some of the runs they put you on, you go there and you're running next to the airport. It's shit like that. It's just like a training ground basically. Just a whole lot of obstacle courses. The swimming pool building is over there. What else? There's like a bayonet assault course. And other than that, it's just obstacle courses.
So literally, it's just like a pathway to everything, though. Like
yeah, they have actual streets.
Oh, okay. So like,
yeah, they got like actual streets.
It's not like how it looks like it was in like the 60s and 70s. Like
no, I'm pretty sure I saw a picture like in the museum of how it looked then, and like they changed the fuck out of it.
So like it actually is kind of modern now.
Yeah, like
In a
no,
museum?
it's like it could pass for like a civilian. No, it couldn't, because like all the buildings are like all the barracks or the
like a
squad bases are
village.
like H's. Yeah, I guess. I don't know, but then like there's classrooms too. It's not like it's organized and shit, but like they got roads going everywhere, and then once you get to the PT area, it just turns to dirt roads. It's not like
It's not like shit, but it's not like
Yeah.
amazing.
yeah, it's not like impressive. Like it's not something that I
It's
can
like
sit
that
here and
road behind
describe.
our house, kind of.
Which one?
You know what I'm talking
Oh
about?
yeah,
it's like kinda
a
like
little
that.
bit. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like that. So yeah, that's basically like the layout of it, you know.
Yeah.
It's not too like
You can walk everywhere.
yeah, you do walk everywhere, yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, you don't walk sorry, you march everywhere.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, the difference between walking and marching is you're basically walking, except you have to wait until your drill instructor tells you to put your left or right foot down.
Is that shit annoying?
No, it's just cadence. It's like when they go left, right, you know, calling the cadence.
Left, right.
Yeah, they sing that shit, whatnot. It's
Mhm.
basically that. You march everywhere too. You march everywhere during boot camp,
Damn.
Mhm.
but it's not bad. Sometimes marching is pretty fun. Like
Mhm.
I don't know.
So what was the second week like after? Like wait. So what time were you waking up every morning and like going to bed?
Ooh, good question.
I think yeah. Oh yeah, it was 9 to 5. You go to bed at 9 o'clock.
So you're getting 8 hours. Though.
Yeah.
Would you just pass the fuck out? Like
Yes.
every, like you
Yes.
would not even like think. You no deep thoughts were going into your head at night?
Nothing. No, literally, as soon as you got into your rack, as soon as lights hit and you got in your rack, you just passed the fuck out.
Don't even remember anything.
Dude, that
No.
would
Like
feel
some
nice.
nights I would try to like shoot a prayer up real quick sometimes, but sometimes I just melted in my fucking rack. Like I just passed the fuck out.
Like max, you'd be up till it's like 9:30 or some shit.
Yeah. Well, so at the start of boot camp, I would wait until 9:15 because that's when they open up the head. So you can, the bathroom. That's what they call it, is the head. They would open up the bathroom so you can go take a piss, take a shit at 9:15. I don't know why you have to wait 15 minutes after you get in your rack, but you do. So after that, like for the first like week or two of boot camp, I would always go and I would take a shit like every night in the same shitter, fucking.
Wait, was there like stalls or like you would see?
Yeah,
everyone
there were
shitting?
stalls. They just didn't have doors. So like, if you were shitting, you could just look across and see someone else shitting in front of you. But
Would y'all ever talk on the?
oh
shit?
yeah, all the time.
Oh my
That's
God,
the
I
best
remember.
conversations
Oh, man.
happen. Well, some of the funniest shit happened in the shitter room.
Yeah,
just
I
doing
wanna,
that.
yeah, we'll get to that.
But I remember for like the first 2 weeks of boot camp, I would take a shit like literally at the same time every night. That was just my shitting time. You know what I'm saying? And then one night I got out of my rack. I go up to front post. Because that's like, do you know what Firewatch is? No? All right, so that's like 4 people have to stay up every hour just to like, I don't know, do some security bullshit.
Oh, okay.
It's
probably,
like you just
trained
stay
for the
up watching
actual,
your
like,
shit. Yeah. Like watching the shit. One person stays on front post, which is right in front of the front fucking door if it wasn't obvious.
Mhm.
And so you just stand there, make sure nobody comes in. If a drill instructor
I'm
comes in,
betting the most fucked up shit happened to like the person in the front. Like,
the front
during
post.
fire.
It depends.
Like
If
someone,
front
they
post-
definitely get trolled by the
Front
drill
post got
instructor.
fucked up often, but
Did you ever have to do it?
oh yeah, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah.
usually just a race to see who would get dressed last when you got woken up. So the last one to finish getting dressed would be on front post, unless some weirdo, which we had a couple, enjoyed being on front post.
Mhm.
But
Well, they also get to be alone.
yeah, I mean front post isn't bad, like because you just stand there. But I remember
For
I
an
got out
hour.
of my rack to take a shit, like I do every fucking night. I get out of my rack, I go over, I grab the pass. He writes my name down in the logbook to let them know that I'm going to the fucking bathroom because it's like military. Everyone has to fucking know. And a drill instructor was standing. A drill
Do
instructor
you
was
have to
standing
write
there.
down 1 or 2 or whatever?
No,
Like, piss of
no,
shit?
you don't,
That'd
you don't
be
write down
insane.
piss of shit. You can probably tell with the amount of time they spend though, because if you're taking a piss, you don't even wash your hands. You just run in there, grab your dick, fucking piss, and then leave because you want to go back to bed. But then, fucking a drill instructor was standing right there. I go over, I grab the shit. He's like, "Hey, what's your name?" And I'm like, "Silva, sir." And he's like, "Tight, Silva, 2 hours Firewatch." I was like, "What the fuck?" So he put me on for 2 hours that night just because I went to go take a
So
shit.
you still had to wake up at 5 a.m. too?
Yeah.
Damn.
So I only got 6 hours that night. And I remember I was taking my shit. I was just sitting there and I was just like, man, fuck. I was so pissed. I was just like, what did I do? I was so pissed. I'll never forget that. He just said, Silva, 2 hours, Firewatch. I'm like, why? But whatever.
Did you question or you just?
No, fuck no. I was just like, aye, aye, sir. And then I went and took a shit, and I was
Pissed shit?
crying on the
You were pissed shitting?
yeah, I was fucking pissed, bro. And then I did my 2 hours that night, and I was just like,
Just
fuck.
slumped.
Yeah.
Wait, so what happens when you said a drill instructor comes in or whatever? What happens? Like when there's
Front
a
post
firework?
has to report their post, so they have to salute, and they have to go. They have to give the proper greeting. They're like, "Good evening, sir. Recruit reports building, whatever your building number was. Ours was 585, Squad Bay B3. All it's like all secure at this time. The count on deck is however many recruits there was, and then however many M16 A4 service rifles, all locked and on safe.
I would
And
mess
then
that
it's
up.
and then the number United States Marine Corps foot lockers, all properly
So
secure
all
at this
it's just a
time.
bunch of stats and shit.
Yeah, stats literally.
Is it like the
And then
same
you go,
every
nothing
time?
unusual to report this time, sir. And then you have to wait because you're saluting the whole time too. You have to wait until they say carry on, and then you go carry on, aye sir, and then you're done. But usually they're not nice to you when you're reporting your post, especially at the start of boot camp. So they'll like be in your face. They'll be like, "Why are you fucking whispering?" You'll be screaming at the top of your lungs, waking everyone in the platoon up, and then they're still like, "You're not fucking screaming, bitch." So it'll be shit like that. Or they'll just walk past you. They won't say carry on, and you'll just stand there looking like an idiot, fucking saluting nothing. And then there will also be times where they don't even listen to the report. They just fucking like they'll walk in and then just go away. Like they'll just walk in, go to the fucking
And you still
duty
have to
hut,
say this shit.
and then you're still saying like you're literally just
Oh
standing
my
there
God.
screaming the fucking report to nobody. So
That's-
shit like that would happen.
That is so funny.
I remember one time I was on front post towards the end of boot camp. I was on front post and fucking one of my drill instructors walked in, and as soon as I started reporting it, like literally, so you have to report it as soon as their foot enters the fucking squad bay. So I'm watching, as soon as his foot touches the doorway, I start screaming, "Good evening, sir," but then he cuts me off. He's just like, "Shut up." And I was like, "Aye, aye, sir." So
Oh, you
like,
can, if
half
they
the
tell
time-
you to
half
say
the time they
something, you
don't-
just do
yeah.
it.
Well, like half the time you don't even have to report it because the drill instructor just doesn't want to fucking listen to it. So they'll just be like, "Shut the fuck up." Or my senior one time, fucking, he was just like, "Nah, Silva, you're good." And I was like, "All right, tight." He was being nice to me.
Oh, that's nice.
Like whenever the drill instructors were nice to you, it gave you like a warm tingly
Like
feeling.
an
You were like,
extra,
"Oh
like-
shit." You're like, "Oh, it's so kind." And then it's like they'll just turn around and be like, "Fuck you, bitch." And you're like, "Oh."
They're supposed to do that shit.
Well, yeah, it's like I don't know, but it felt good when they would treat you like a human.
So, what were like the biggest events you think of like the first month? Because you were there
The
for 3
first
months, right?
Month? Yeah. So the first month, that's phase 1 and like a little bit of phase 2. So I'd say the biggest events in those months would be well, for one, initial drill. So that's when you get tested by the drill master on the parade deck for how good you are at drill. But it's the initial drill, so they're not expecting too much out of you. So there's that. First month probably included swim qual. So that's the first week of phase 2. You swim and then you do swim qual after, like at the end of swim week, obviously. Which that wasn't a big deal for me because I'm a good swimmer and I know how to fucking swim. But like half of the fucking retards that try to join the Marine Corps, the amphibious branch, don't know how to fucking swim. And then another good chunk of them are afraid of the fucking water. There was a Hispanic kid. He was part of a different platoon, but I remember he got dropped because he wouldn't get in the fucking water.
Just got pushed.
Because they make you go on like that
Damn.
high ass like diving board, and then they just push you off of it. They're like, look left, look right, look up, look down, and then they just fucking shove you. So he was refusing to go up the ladder to get to do it, so they dropped him.
Oh,
But
man.
he didn't
got
speak.
kicked out of boot camp.
Well, he got kicked out of the company at least. I don't know what the fuck happened to him
Damn.
after, but all I remember was like all the Spanish speakers were trying to talk to him because he didn't speak any fucking English. So.
Okay.
So there's probably that. That was probably a big deal for like the majority of recruits because they don't like swimming. I was fine with it. I was a good
Was
swimmer.
it cold as fuck too? the water?
No, the water's fucking warm as shit.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah, because they don't want you to get hyperthermia. Of course, it's a new Marine Corps.
You
Soft
know,
as
relax
fuck.
your muscles.
They fucking they
Yeah,
have
are
like
you pissed about it? Like it was too easy. you think?
no. It wasn't the easiest thing I've ever done. Like if I say it was easy, then it's like I'm just trying to be tough or some shit. I don't know.
Like,
Like,
yeah, obviously.
it
but
wasn't-
You said it wasn't.
It wasn't
you
as hard as I
expected-
thought it would be.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. But there were times where it was like, fuck, why am I here?
Yeah.
And that's what it's supposed to be about.
Yeah.
So other than that, initial drill, that's really it. The first month is really just about like learning how to be a recruit.
Mm-hmm.
So
And we'll kind of summarize more so we can get into like funnier shit, like
Oh,
like
yeah.
bigger questions. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, the
so
more
what was more
important ones.
summary of like the phase 2 or like
phase
second month?
2. Well, for starters, all of phase 1, you're wearing your face mask, your blouse. You have to button up the top button so you just look retarded. Like you actually just look retarded as fuck. And you don't really wear your combat boots, so you're wearing fucking camis with fucking gym shoes. You look retarded. And then
Nikes?
what?
Are they Nikes at least?
Fuck no.
They're off brand.
Yes, some shit like that. I don't
Walmart
know.
Clarks.
Maybe like New Balance or some shit. But
Balance isn't bad.
right after initial drill, once you step off the parade deck, that's when phase 2 begins. And so, like, you know how boot camp's about breaking you down and slowly building you up?
Yeah.
That's literally what happens. So right after you get off that
So
parade
phase
deck,
1 was just breaking you down.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
so right after you get off that parade deck for initial drill, your drill instructors will be like, all right, masks off the body. You don't wear your mask ever again in boot camp. And then they tell you to unbutton your top button. And then you start wearing your boots more. And I'm pretty sure that's also when they let you blouse your boots. So you know how like in the camis, like your boots will look like they're tucked in? They didn't let you tuck them in at all. Like,
oh, so your show's just your
they,
pants were
it just
out?
they made you roll them up like to
Oh.
get the cuffs, but you just kept it like that. So you looked stupid
Wait,
as
was
fuck.
that a COVID mask they made you wear?
Yeah.
Oh, was that just because of COVID they added that?
Probably. It's also like probably to make
for
us look even
oxygen.
more like bitches.
Oh.
But because like their goal in phase 1 is to just make you look retarded
And try and make you quit.
Yeah.
Their
Yeah.
goal is to make you quit. pretty
Yeah, that's when most people
Yeah,
quit.
give
Is
up
like
on
the first
yourself.
couple weeks. But then after that, so after initial drill, you get all that shit. So you start looking more like a Marine, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you're not obviously there yet.
Yeah.
And then phase 2, you hit swim week. After that, it's called team week, which is you just go on working parties, helping like clean around the base and shit. And then there's this thing called interior guard. That happens during team week. It's one night in the week. You don't really sleep because they make you do like it was like scenarios, like actual combat scenarios. So you put a flak on, which is the like
Jacket,
armor,
yeah.
but there's no armor plates obviously.
Yeah.
And then they make you put a Kevlar on, the helmet, and then you grab a rubber rifle. You're with 3 other people, so you're in a 4-man team.
Wait, is it rubber? Like it shoots rubber bullets?
No, it's just a rubber rifle.
Oh,
there's-
yeah, replica.
it's just a fake rifle, yeah. So you do that, and then they make you go out and fucking do like scenarios. They'll be like, fucking go down to the laundry room. There's fucking people shooting or some shit, and then you have to go down there, and then there'll be drill instructors around the building that'll fuck you up. So like for me, I was patrolling with 3 other people, and there was a drill instructor that walked past, and I was holding like my weapon up to him, and I was like, halt, like stop fucking moving. And he just kept walking towards me, and I didn't shoot him because you're supposed to go suppress, suppress, suppress to like shoot him. And then I didn't. And then my drill instructor who followed us, because he kind of like makes the game or whatever, he just looks at me, he goes, boom. And I'm like, what? And then he's like, you just died. That was a suicide bomber. I'm like, fuck. So literally, I just looked at him. He's like, you're dead. And I was just standing there like, oh. Well, I said to him, I was like, fuck.
Wait, was teams won? Was it like a winning game? Like you tried to win?
No, it
Or
was
just-
just it was
It was
just
like
4
learning.
people at a time were woken up to do it. So
Oh.
and
So
then
you're just
there
fucking
was this
tired
thing
and
called
shit,
like
too?
QPC or some shit. I don't remember what it was called, but it was the drill instructors chose like 6 or 8 people in the platoon that they just wanted to fuck up, like people that they just hated. And so those were the people that did not sleep at all that night because they got called every time like when I got suicide bombed and I died, they got called. So they were woken up. They had to get dressed really quickly, and then they had to come down and like they were backup pretty much. So like it was simulated like that. So like they came down, they had to like support
Could
the
you
other
tell
guys.
who was hated? And
Yeah.
who wasn't?
Yes. Like every fat kid was hated. There were people with attitude problems that were hated. People that would like laugh, they would like break bearing often were hated. I broke my bearing a lot, but I was able to hide it more.
Did the
And,
drill instructor? They're cool with you.
for the most part, yeah, I never really got fucked up that bad. I do have one story of getting
Yeah,
fucked
yeah.
up, and it's
I
coming
mean,
up too.
Yeah.
So
You just
after
got
all that
suicide
interior
bombed.
guard team week shit, so yeah, I got suicide bombed during that. That's basically all that happened. It was lame as shit, whatever. After that, it's finals week. That's when you have final drill. It's the end of phase 2, basically. You have like the big test to like test all the knowledge and shit. It was easy as
Like
fuck.
a written test.
Yeah, it's stupid though, because they're not trying to fail you. So if you do fail, they'll just be like, "Oh, you're gonna take it again," and you'll just take it until you pass. So during that week though,
So crayon.
fucking there was a night we got in our racks, and you have to wait until they tell you to break sheets. But our drill instructor, he didn't say break sheets. He just told us to get in our rack, and he walked away. So we were all just sitting there, fucking waiting to be told to break sheets. So we couldn't sleep. After like an hour, I was like, all right, fuck this. And then I decided to be the hero for the platoon. I was like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go pound on the pine, which means you bang like the there's like literally there's literally a piece of wood next to the door on the office, and it's called pounding the pine. You pound the pine, and that's how you request to talk to a drill instructor. So I was like, guys, I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to request to break sheets. And everyone was like, fuck yeah, Silva. They were hyping me up. I was all confident. I jumped out of my rack. I'm walking around. Firewatch was there. They were like fist bumping me. They were like, fuck yeah, bro, you got this. And I was like, watch me.
Were you scared shitless though?
No, I was so confident. I walked up to the pine. I'm about to pound it, right? So I'm next to the door. I'm like, clearing my throat. I'm getting ready. You know, I'm getting ready. I'm loosening my shit, you know. Fucking, I give my hand up. I pound that bitch. The first words that come out of my mouth at 10 o'clock at night, "Good morning, gentlemen." And then fucking everyone in the platoon just starts fucking dying. They're all laughing so loudly.
You said good morning?
I said good morning at 10 o'clock at night. And then, so once everyone else started laughing, because then they were like, damn, he was so confident. And then I just fucked up. I started laughing. And if you laugh in front of the fucking duty hut, you're fucked. So a drill instructor, one of our green belts comes out, and he's like, you're laughing? I'm like, no, sir. And then he's like, pound the pine again. I don't think you're laughing. So I pounded it. He's like, yeah, you didn't laugh. How about you do it again? He made me pound it, like just smack my hand against it like 20 times. And then he's like, you know what? I think you can find your laugh at the back of the house. So I had to run to the back of the squad bay. And then I was just standing there looking like a retard in the dark. And then our other drill instructor, our Jay, he comes out. He's the one that fucked me up. He's like, yeah, Silva, get over here. So I fucking run over. I'm like, good evening, sir. And he's like, yeah, get dressed. You're on Firewatch. And I was like, aye, sir. So I had to go get dressed in my camis. He put one of the Firewatch people to bed. And then he said, yeah, get in here, jackass. He points to the whiskey locker, which is where we have like all of our extra gear and shit, like housekeeping shit, like brooms or whatnot. And so he pulls me in there. He's like, you think it's okay to laugh in front of the duty hut, right? I'm like, no, sir. And then he's like, yeah, tight. He reaches over, he grabs one of the bins full of tape. He just rips it off the fucking what's it called? Like the storage thing, like the rack or whatever, shelf. That's the word I'm thinking of. He rips it off the fucking shelf. The tape goes everywhere. And he's like, yeah, how about you pick it up, jackass? And he's like, you got 5 minutes. So I start picking it up. And then he's like, oh, and this too. And he fucking takes this thing full of sunscreen. Another fucking bin full of sunscreen, just rips it off. Fucking sunscreen goes everywhere on the floor.
Oh, it just all clanks.
So yeah, so for the next 2 hours, I was crawling around in sunscreen, picking up sunscreen and tape and putting it back. And then every 5 minutes, so he would set a fucking alarm on his phone for 5 minutes. And he's like, you're going to be done when this alarm goes off. And I was like, aye, sir. So I start doing it. I start like putting the shit away. He comes in every 5 minutes. He's like, did we make it? I'm like, no, sir. And he's like, tight. And he
was it impossible task?
It was, yeah, you're not going to fucking do
it.
He
just like kept doing
it. Like after the first time that I didn't make it, I was like, all right, you're not going to be able to make this. Like it was probably like hundreds of rolls of tape and then like at least like 50 or 60 sunscreen containers.
But you keep doing it?
5 minutes.
I kept doing
it. Did you
it.
get to wear sunscreen though?
Yeah, if they gave us time to.
You don't look like you did.
There were a lot of times I got sunburned, yeah. But yeah, no, that kept happening every 5 minutes. He would come in with a bright ass flashlight, shine in my face. He's like, "Did we make it, Silva?" Like grab
you
my
were doing it in the dark.
Yeah, there was no light in the whiskey locker. So he would grab my cover, fucking like lift it up. So like he literally like he was like shoving my neck back. So I had to stare him in his eyes. He was like, "Did we make it?" I'm like, no, sir. He's like, "Tight, start over." And he set his timer. It was fucking the most annoying shit I've ever done.
Really?
That's crazy.
But at the same time, I wasn't trying to pick it all up because I knew that you fucking can't because it was an impossible test.
Did you end up having to pick it all up though?
No, I was literally just waiting because like they can only have you on Firewatch for 2 hours max. So I was just waiting out 2 hours. And then at the end of the 2 hours, it was literally just 2 hours of me crawling in sunscreen, picking shit up. Every 5 minutes, he comes in there, practically gives me a fucking seizure with his light. And then
knocks
just
it all over again.
knocks it all over again. So That was that. And then
Yeah.
after the 2 hours, he was like, "Yeah, go get in your rack, jackass." And I'm like, "All right, shit's over." And then after that, I was pissed because then he made the other Firewatch the next hour clean it all up. So I got out of my rack and I grabbed one of the head passes and I helped them clean it up. Because
That's
I
nice.
felt bad. I didn't want them to clean up that shit.
Yeah, Marine Danny.
So
Okay,
well, I was a recruit, but
That's some heart. That's some
that was pretty much the only time that I actually got fucked up.
Oh, okay. You're pretty much chill the whole time though.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was on my
What
shit.
month was? I mean, what day you think that was? Like,
It was
did you get the calendar at all?
no. It was probably March because it was right before we went up to Camp Pendleton. So
Mhm.
Camp Pendleton is when all the actual Marine shit starts.
Okay, so wait, this is ended the second month, right? So phase 2.
Not the end of the second. Well, like that was the end of like February. That was like the first week of March was our last week
Damn, that's like
of
barely
phase
into it.
2. Of phase 2.
Phase 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then the second week of March, phase 3 began, which at the end of phase 2, you hit final drill, same shit as initial drill. Once you get off that parade deck, your shit's already packed up because you pack it up during the last week. And then after that, you eat chow and you get on a bus and you go up to Camp Pendleton to start your like field training, which is your actual Marine shit. It's where you'll learn how to use a gun, fire a gun, live in the field, and then the last week is the crucible. So
Of the month.
no, the last week at Camp Pendleton is the crucible.
Wait, yeah. How many weeks is phase 3?
4. Was it 4? No, it was 3 weeks. I'm sorry, I'm tripping.
Yeah.
So every phase is 3 weeks, except for phase 1. Phase 1 is 4 because that includes receiving.
Mm.
So phase 3 starts off with grass week, one of the most boring weeks because all you're doing is you're sitting in a bleacher learning how to use a rifle, how to be safe with it, and you learn how to like hold it to like aim into it and all that shit. And fucking, it was one of the most painful weeks because they made you hold those uncomfortable positions like kneeling and prone. Prone hurt your balls a lot. Like when you're laying in the prone, your balls are fucking hurting.
Damn.
But whatever. It wasn't like they're not bad positions, but when you have to hold them for like
like
20, 30 minutes, it
God,
fucking
yeah.
hurts. And then
Is
they're
that
just
all
like,
you're thinking about? You're not
yeah,
even thinking
yeah.
about what.
they're just like, because like your PMI, your primary marksman instructor, whatever the fuck they are, they're not drill instructors, so they're pretty chill with you, but they still like they're Marines. They'll still bitch you, especially because you're a recruit. So it was shit like that. That shit sucked. And then at the end of grass week, so for me at the end of grass week, that's when I got that. That's when I got a Red Cross notification, which meant that something was really bad in my house.
Aw.
Wait,
so-
what's that about?
That was my
No. Like, what does the Red Cross mean? Like, how do you get?
Oh, it's so if something like if a immediate family member dies or some shit like that, you'll get a notification, or like your family will send a notification to the Red Cross, and like by law, like it's a military law or some shit, like by the president or something, I don't know, that they have to send it out to the military like person. So like if you're in the like if you're in the fleet or whatnot, they'll let you know and you'll get emergency leave. And it's the same with recruits. You'll get emergency leave too. So that's what happened at the end of grass week. It was like the chaplain was talking to me about it and whatnot, and I was just like, I was like shocked. I was like, fuck. Yeah, I had no idea what to do.
Nowhere.
Yeah, literally, it did. I was literally cruising through boot camp. Like I would low key, like I'm not gonna say I was enjoying myself, but like it was not bad up until then. And then that's when I realized I was like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I did not know what to do.
Yeah, what were you going through there?
I was just so confused. Fucking, I remember talking to my senior, because like you
Wait,
know.
so you knew the info at this point, right?
Yeah, they
Like,
told me.
They told you.
They
but,
have
like,
to
You
tell you,
didn't
yeah.
tell your parents. Like you didn't talk to your parents yet.
They did. They let me call my family.
Was that your first time calling them?
Yeah. No, you get a phone call before you go up north to work out your travel arrangements. And so, like, I got to do that real quick just to be like, hey, how am I getting home? They're like, oh, we're going to drive you home. I was like, all right, cool. See ya.
Like a little 2 minute.
Yeah, just a little call. It's
Yeah.
nothing big. But then I got that phone call for the bullshit that happened. And I remember because I had the choice to take 10 days emergency leave. So I could have come home, like, way before. I could have come home back in, like, March. But I chose not to at the end of the day because I was like, I was already so adjusted to the recruit life, and I really just did not want to come back as a not Marine. So
yeah, that's what I was.
so yeah, that was like the first adult decision I've ever had to make. Like literally, it was weird as fuck. But I do remember I was talking to my senior. He was like, "So are you gonna stay or are you gonna go?" Because he didn't give a fuck. You know, he's like, "Listen, you have a good reason to go home. So if you want to go home, you can go home." And literally, all that would have happened was I would have taken 10 days, done the shit here, and then I would have gone back and I would have picked up with another company. So my graduation would have been delayed by however fucking long it took. But
you had a whole new platoon and everything.
yeah, I'd have had to meet a whole new group of
Damn.
people, which at that point I was already tight with a ton of people. Like I had some brothers in that platoon, and I was like, you know what, like I'm gonna get through this for them. They'll help me get through it. So I stayed. But I remember after I was done talking to the senior in the duty hut, like I was in the duty hut. That's how you know shit's like real, you know. Fucking, he's like, "So you're gonna stay?" I was like, "Yes, sir." He's like, "All right, cool. If you need anything, let me know. If the drill instructors are being too harsh, I can tell them to lay back." And I was like, "Well, fuck, you know, I feel like I'm cheating, but whatever." And so like I didn't pull any of that shit. Like if I wanted to, I could have been like, "They're being mean to me," and then he would have told them to like lay off, but I didn't because I'm not gonna take advantage of that shit. That would have been retarded.
Yeah.
But I do remember. He was like, "So you're gonna return to training?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." And he's like, "All right, get out there." And I was like, "Aye, aye, sir." And then so I leave. As I'm walking out, he said, "Yeah, how about you open your fat ass mouth?" Which means like fucking scream. So like it's like he was just talking to me all sweet, and then he turns back into a drill instructor. He's like, "How about you open your fat ass fucking mouth?"
Damn.
And then well, like because I said I was like, "I'm returning." Like I told him like in my own words, "I'm returning to the training." So he's like, "How about you open your fat ass mouth?" I'm like, "Aye, aye, sir."
Did you get a day off at all?
No.
You
I just literally the
you
day I
just
found
resumed.
out. The day I found out, I got maybe like an hour where I was just talking to the chaplain and the senior, and then I just went back to training because I chose to. So it's not like,
Did you think about like your little brother? Like,
oh
the whole
fuck yeah,
time?
yeah, oh yeah, no,
was
that
the
first and I'll tell you this fucking. So that day, the senior and the drill instructors they decided to fuck up the platoon. So the whole platoon got IT'd, and since I was fucking part of the platoon, since I chose to rejoin, I was getting IT'd like 10 minutes after finding out what happened to my younger brother.
So you like didn't think about it at that point?
No, I was literally I was sitting there just getting screamed at, and they were going like, I was just push-ups, jumping jacks, all that IT shit, and I literally all that was in my head was just like, what the fuck?
Man.
Like literally 10 minutes ago, I was sitting in a room, fucking with the senior drill instructor, and he was talking all sweet to me, and then 10 minutes later, he's standing right in front of me, in my face, fucking me and the entire platoon up.
Damn.
And I was just thinking, I was like, damn, that's a story to tell, right?
Yeah.
But whatever.
That's crazy.
And then after that, it's range week, so you actually get to shoot your weapon. And that week was probably like where I was where I was going internal or whatnot. I was probably quiet that week. I was probably looking down a lot, just like fuck, you know.
I bet.
Did you like regret your decision for like? Was that like?
No, not really. I didn't really regret it. Cause like even now, like I still like.
No,
was,
not
like, just
regret it, but
tough?
were you like thinking about hard? Like,
Oh yeah,
damn,
there
I
were
should've
often
done
times where like I was like fuck, my family really needs me at home.
Mm-hmm.
But
Your family
luckily,
cared
I had
about
some
well.
boys over here that were able to fucking fill in for me, like both of you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that shit was tough. So during range week, I was definitely going internal. I was definitely down on my luck or some shit. But I shot expert. Just saying.
Does that
Did
mean
that?
you shot like good?
Yeah, it means I shot the
Yeah,
best.
that was the photo you
can
sent me.
shoot, which is not hard to fucking do. By the
Oh,
way,
really?
I'm not taking pride in that. It's easy as fuck to do. Like I've never shot before, and I shot expert. That's how easy it is.
Dude, like
Oh,
Call of
But there
Duty.
are some retards that won't shoot expert. There are some retards that will also fail the fucking range.
No way.
Really?
Some dumbasses will fail, and then, like I said, it was the same thing with the testing earlier. They'll just make you fucking redo it until you
Yeah,
pass.
because you're
The
this
controller
far, they
must have been
want you to be
broken.
Marine.
No, they just their job isn't to like fail you. It's just to make you pass. Like
At
it's
that
just
point?
retarded. There are people that fail the PFT and the CFT, and they still fucking they're just
spawned in.
literally all that they say, all the drill instructors do is like you're gonna retry it. So they just keep getting retries until you pass it. Like boot camp is not fucking hard at all. Because even if you fail, you're just gonna do it until you fucking pass it.
Wait, was phase 1 though? They were trying to fail you.
Not really. Phase 1, you don't really do any of that shit, except for I think you run one PFT. But
Anyone drop out at phase 3?
was
Was it in your platoon?
Yeah, we had a dude in my platoon that just quit because he just didn't want to be a Marine. Like he didn't want to be in the fleet anymore. So he just told the senior, he was like, I want to go home. I just don't want to do this. And then the senior was like, all right, whatever, sent him home. And then we had another dude who, he was just a fucking idiot. He kept stealing food. Like, he would steal shit from the chow hall, like, throughout phase 1 and 2. He'd get caught, but he didn't get in trouble because at that point, they're like, oh, it's still early in the cycle. We'll teach him discipline. And then phase 3, it was right after range week 2, right before field week. He went to the officer's deck, and he stole MREs from that deck. He got caught, and then he got dropped.
That's
like
dumb.
late, like a couple days later. Like, fucking dumbass. You're that close to finishing, and he fucking did that, got dropped.
I wouldn't even risk it.
Did anyone just like do it just to do boot camp? Like, did anyone drop out the day before graduation or whatever? Or
No.
before crucible?
No,
I feel
we
like
did.
nobody
We
would
did
do
have a
that,
dude
though.
drop during the crucible, but not because of that. Like, he was just a fucking bitch. Like, he was one of those dudes that only made it because he probably just followed everybody else.
Oh, but then
so
the
he didn't, like-
crucible, he was
The
super
crucible, he got
hungry.
singled out a lot, and then
You couldn't take it.
drop.
Damn.
But I remember he was a fat ass bitch. Like, he was a bitch. He was always complaining. He was 28 years old too, and he was always moving slow. We'd all yell at him. We'd be like, "You need to fucking be better," and he'd just be like, "Fuck you, I'm trying," but he wasn't trying. And he was in my fire team, so I was his fire team leader. I was in charge of micromanaging him, and then 2 other people, as long as
so you
myself.
would get in trouble if he fucked up.
Yeah, but like he didn't fuck up because I was making sure that, like, when we were packing out our bags for field week and for like the crucible, I made him and like the rest of my fire team do I made them hold their shit out right in front of me and put it in because I was like, I'm not getting fucked up for you being retarded. So I made him do that, so he was all good. He didn't get me fucked up. You just get it.
Oh, like everyone gets it?
No.
Like it's no like.
It's just like
No, they
randomly
just give it to
chosen.
people who like aren't retarded.
Oh.
Or if you want it, you can just volunteer for it. And if you're good at it, you'll keep it. If you're not good at it, then they'll just fire you. So I did that to him, made sure he was all good. I was carrying him. He would talk to me about like his mental problems and shit, because I'm pretty sure he was like suicidal or something. But during the crucible, we had log drills, which if you don't know what that is, you're carrying a big ass log and you're like squatting, like running with it, shit like that. They were singling him out. It was
bigger than the Iowa logs that we'd have to carry.
way bigger. The fuck, those were short and stumpy
together
logs.
you'd have
Yeah,
to?
they were long and
Oh.
skinny like long and skinny, not,
So you
not too
all had
skinny.
to like carry it.
Yeah, like
Together. It was
over
a
our
team
shoulders.
Oh
exercise.
man,
Yeah, like a fucking battling ram from Clash Royale or some shit. Or some shit like that.
you're a
But-
barbarian.
They had his ass getting singled out just because he was fat, and like at this point they're like, how did this fat ass make it to the crucible? So I guess they were just trying to make him
That's
quit, and
crazy.
he ended up quitting, which is retarded. You're that close. But
Did he really want it, you think?
no. He was talking to me
Clearly
before. He's
not,
like,
no.
dude, I don't feel like I got the transformation. Like, I don't feel like I'm ready to be a Marine. Like, he's like, I don't feel like I'm a Marine. And so I'm telling him, I'm like, bro, we haven't started the crucible yet. We still have time to become Marines. So I was like, fix yourself now. So like I was working with him, trying to make him like motivate him and shit. And then it was working. Like he would talk to me about that shit, which I didn't give a fuck about any of it. I was just trying to make sure that he didn't drop, because like, you know, you got to look out for the boys.
Yeah.
And then during that, he got fucked up. Like, he kept dropping the log. Everyone in the platoon was yelling at him. And then the drill instructors, they were laughing because they just loved fucking him up. His nickname was Pork Chop. So,
Were they allowed to fast shame people?
yes.
Fat phobic.
Yeah.
Yes, they were very much allowed to
Oh,
fast
yeah, I
shame
want to
people.
get that.
There would be times at PT where I would be half-assing my high knees, and then this fat ass in front of me is actually trying, and then they look at me doing these fucking like shitty high knees, but then they look at me, they just fucking look away, go to the fat kid in front of me who's actually trying, and they're like, no, you need to get your knees higher. It was funny as shit. Like, I remember that shit happening so much. I was like, damn. I felt kind of bad, but whatever. Anyway, that fat kid with the logs, he just could not do it anymore, and the drill instructors were making him like count all of the reps, and every time he fucked up, they're like, oh, you're fucking up, yeah, now we're back to 0. And then once we got to 0, they just started going backwards. They were like, yeah, now we're back to -20. And we went all the way to
Pork chop.
-170 something.
Oh
kept
my
fucking-
god.
Because he kept fucking us up. Yeah, so like he'd be counting. He
Y'all
was the
get
only one.
Pork chop.
He was the only one counting the reps when we were squatting, and he would fuck up the counts. He'd be at like -60, and then he'd be like -61, and then they'd be like, oh, so we're back to -61, right? Tight. And then they'd be like, now we're back to -170. So we got all the way back there, and then he just quit. It was the funniest shit ever, because he was like in tears,
man.
and he was like on his knees. He was like, please let the recruits go. Take me instead. Everyone was laughing at him.
Really?
It was like some main
Poor
character
Pork
ass
chop.
shit.
Like he was crying because he wanted to see you guys fun.
And then he
sacrificed
like there was a
himself.
puddle too. He fell face first into the puddle like with his hands up. He was like, oh. It was funny as shit. He thought he was the main character or some shit. But
Poor
then
board shot, bro.
after that, because the course ended, we ran out of time, which is why it's retarded. Like if they're fucking with you, just let them fuck with you. Everyone's on a time crunch, so like they're gonna stop fucking with you eventually. Just put your head down and push. But he was too retarded to do that. So
Did you ever explain that to him?
I was trying to. I was doing that during that. Like he was like, I can't do this anymore. I was like, dude, just let them fuck with you. It'll be over before you know it. And so we got
Is
to.
that what your mindset was?
That's what my mindset
Like you're
was,
just
yeah.
thinking time wise, like.
Yeah. I was just like, we're gonna run out of time eventually. So.
Yeah, because there's an assigned schedule.
Yeah. So after the assigned, following the assigned schedule, we walk over to the next course during the crucible, and sure enough, I see him talking to the corpsman. So I'm like, fuck, what is this about? And then I saw him sitting down on a bench alone, like separated from the platoon. So I go over to him and I'm like, hey, what's going on, man? And he's like, I got to tell you something. And I'm like, fuck, what is it? And it's like, I was kind of figuring that he said some dumb shit to the corpsman. He's like, I had to tell the corpsman something. And I'm like, fuck.
Oh, no.
So he was trying to explain it to me, but then we had to like get on the station. So I was like, hey, I gotta go to the station, but you can tell me tonight. Fucking, we never saw him again. Never saw him again.
No way.
What ended up happening was he said he SI'd to the corpsman, which means suicidal intention. So you say that you're suicidal, and that's an instant out the door.
Oh,
so
really?
we
They don't
never
even try
saw
to
him
help
again.
you?
No.
Yeah,
They don't want you like if you're suicidal.
Damn.
Well, like they will try to help you, but if you say like,
You just want to leave. Yeah.
That's
so they fucked like they got rid of him for that.
Wait. So wrap up phase 3, so then we could.
That's literally it. That's the crucible.
Oh, that was the crucible when he.
That was during the crucible, yeah. So literally that shit happened.
What were you doing during the crucible? Like just running?
You just walk. No, you just walk with all your gear.
March.
You patrol. You don't march. You patrol. So you're in like a tactical column or a formation or whatever where you're patrolling, like what the actual military does.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you don't see actual military people like marching to fucking war. They're in like formations.
Yeah.
So we were in formations, just walking across the field, like the mountains and shit, and you just go to different obstacle courses. And at each obstacle course, there's a sign that has like different Medal of Honor recipients in the military. And every time you get there, they read you their story, and then you take a toast to them with your canteen, your water, and then you just hit their course. All the courses are inspired by them, so it was cool, reading on all the Medal of Honor motherfuckers, badass motherfuckers.
All right, y'all. Sorry, we gotta wrap this up early because of time constraints.
She kind of bad.
But
Nah,
we might have.
alright.
Wait,
nah, she's fat.
be
What?
quiet. I have to redo it because now they can't hear you. All right. All right, y'all. Sorry about it, but we have to do a part 3 of this pod. Maybe I don't know, but we gotta go because of time constraints. But thanks for watching and shout out to this dude. Congratulations for becoming a Marine.
Thank you. My pleasure.